is enough. I have had it.
Why so serious?
And we hold the world ransom for
Wayne Gandy.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Show me that.
Broadcasting live from the AM 1100 Sports Shock Studios in Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome to Atlanta.
This is the Sports Shock Show with Wayne Gandy.
You may build me up, yeah, can you build me up, yeah. You won't break me down, I've come too far, yeah, I've come too far, yeah. So just throw in the towel, hey. It's a new day, I'ma do it, yeah, I'm gonna go all the way. You may build me up.
Welcome back to the Sports Shock Show. I'm the Sports Shock Wayne Gandy. Good morning to you. It is Wednesday. It is January the 25th, and time just seems like it's going so slow. Can we please fast forward to Super Bowl 51? I'm already tired of waiting.
You know, they slow time down a fraction of a second to build the anticipation.
Where is Thursday night football when you need it? I want to get to the game. I want to watch this game, not just because I'm a Falcon guy, but I love the Super Bowl. It's one of the events of the year that most of us in this country stop to watch if you're a sports fan. The Falcons, Super Bowl 51, will be taking on the Patriots on Sunday, February the 5th at 6:40. Remember, I said 6:40, not 6:30. One of the Boston writers has decided to kind of give the Falcons maybe a little bulletin board material, but we have the pleasure of being able to ask him himself. Mr. Dan-Shaughnessy is on the line. Good morning to you, Dan.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Dan, I totally understand probably where you're going with this article, but I'll let you say it. Is it just totally based on really the Atlanta area has never really offered a champion to be seen as something to slay?
Yeah, I mean, I see you guys as a college sports town. I mean, I think it's the town with a lot of athletes. I mean, I say you produce athletes. We produce radio talk show hosts. So how's that? But, it's. I think that I've been there a lot over the years, probably once or twice a year for 30 years or so. Different, mostly watching either the Braves or the Hawks. I was down there last spring when the Celtics played. I was amazed that the Celtics are playing the Hawks in the first round of the playoffs, and all the coverage was for the Georgia, varsity inter-squad game, the practice game.
Right, the spring game.
93,000 people. That's impressive. We couldn't get 93 people for the Boston College practice game. You can ask Matt Ryan that. He'll tell you that. But, again, nothing negative about the Falcons in that piece, nothing negative about your city in that piece, just that it's, we have had an embarrassment of riches with teams winning championships here. That's we're lucky us. And we are a town that really pours ourselves into professional sports, whereas I look at you guys, a town that pours yourself more into college sports.
Do you think it's a function of we just don't have a superstar, or we just don't do enough winning?
Well, I don't know. It's strange. I mean, when your Braves, they won the 15 straight, division titles there, and they would still have trouble, for instance, selling out playoff games or whatnot. And, that would never happen here. And, we're just, we have long tradition with the Sox and all that sort of thing. The Hawks, it's been tough with attendance there. I know that. I mean, I was there when Larry Bird scored 60 against the Hawks, but they were playing the game in New Orleans because Dan Castle was trying to get, fans to go to New Orleans to go to some games because the Hawks were having trouble drawing. I do admire your ability to build arenas and stadiums. I mean, man, you built Olympic Fulton County Turner Stadium there 83 years after Fenway, and you already got another one. That's pretty impressive.
We love shiny and new, Ron. Dan. We love shiny and new.
Bling, bling.
You were able to watch Matt Ryan in college. In his college years of covering him, did you see him becoming this guy that the Falcons put on the field?
That's good. I mean, again, and that is actually, if you ask Mr. Matt Ryan about his college experience, in 2008, he had the BC Eagles. They were second in the country. That's unusual, guys, I can tell you. We don't have a lot of, college teams here ranked second in the country. But for 2 weeks, that's where they were in the polls. And during that time, no one knew what was going on over there because the Red Sox were winning the World Series. Kevin Garnett had just come to the Celtics, and they were going to win the championship, and the Patriots were going 18-0. So the college team did not get the attention that it would deserve with that kind of a record, that kind of a ranking. And that's just the way it goes. We just do not glom onto the college scene, and that's the way it's ever been. But he was really good here, and you could see he was in a pro style, the way their offense was, and he had good size. Philadelphia, Delaware kid, all that stuff, and everybody loved him. Nice kid, always accountable, always up there after the games, and they did have success, as I said. But no one thought this guy's going to be MVP of the NFL and he's going to be in the Super Bowl. No.
Dan, good morning. This is Big Kenny. We just talked about how the Falcons are perceived around the league and specifically by the Patriots. If they want to move into that legendary David status, are the Patriots the perfect Goliath to slay?
That's a good one because the Patriots were a joke of the NFL up until they started winning Super Bowls. I mean, we were way worse than you guys. I mean, we were like, 1-15, the Super Bowl, just terrible. Nobody going to the games, empty. We were not a football region at all. So we saw the whole thing, revolutionize, evolve, whatever you want to call it. And, they started to get to Super Bowls, and the Bears killed them the one time they got in, so you know how that goes. And then they had a good game with the Packers in '96, but couldn't hold on there. And since then, it's been pretty good. I mean, they've really represented, and once they won against St. Louis and beat the defending champs, greatest show on turf. They were 15-point dogs in that game. After that, it's been they win their division every year, and they get to the 6 straight conference championships and 11 conference championships with Belichick and Brady. So they're off the charts now, but it doesn't mean it's forever, and it doesn't mean it can't turn around for your place. Beating them would be a good start because I think you probably got more fans rooting for the Falcons than the Patriots in this game because the Patriots are kind of a team everybody hates.
Hey, this is Ray, the board operator. I had a question for you just on the logistics side of being a writer. Now, if anyone in Atlanta or whose web browser knows they're in Atlanta, this article came right across our feed real quick. Did you have any foresight knowing that when you were writing this article that you would goose some Atlanta people a little bit?
Oh, sure, and I think a lot of that is the shorthand of headlines and sensationalism. People don't actually read the thing, because if you actually read the thing, you'll see there's no insults about your team. There's no talk about your team in there. No notion that your team can't win the game, and really nothing bad about your region either. It's not a shot to say you're a college town. It's not a shot to say you only won one championship in 168 seasons. Those are facts. They're beyond dispute. I think what people may object to is I said in this region, we sort of. You look forward, I'm sure if you got big SEC games, there's certain teams that are better rivals than others. It's just more of a thing. Well, there's no natural rivalry here between these teams. And for the Pats to have played the Giants, a lot of rivalry there. The Giants, stuffed them in 2 Super Bowls, so you always look forward to that kind of revenge. The Dallas Cowboys, let's face it, they bring a cachet to an event like this in Texas, which would have been off the charts, made ticket prices go through the roof, and just television bonanza, all that stuff. Seattle rematch for New England would have been sweet after what happened 2 years ago. Green Bay is always, as you just saw, you had a championship game with them. They bring a lot of cachet and attention with them because of the tradition that they have. So it's not your fault that you're not in that category with those places. But yeah, when the Celtics used to win championships with Larry Bird, it was more fun when they beat the Lakers than when they beat the Houston Rockets. It just was.
Well, what is it about Atlanta sports away from college that makes you feel a little pity? To use your words.
Well, I do, because I think it's good people. It's a good region. I know it's a great place to live and all that stuff. I feel like, hey, I got a call from Ted Johnson in Houston, the linebacker. He said, they always looked at those as friendly games when they would play in Atlanta because there was no one there, kind of crushing them. That it's just not that the region historically has not gotten behind that team or the teams and kind of galvanize the community, and I'm sure you got that going now. You're in the Super Bowl. I get it. But there's been years of, less than great attendance and less than great interest in the professional teams.
I agree.
Well, Dan, I'm going to fast forward 10 p.m., February the 5th. The clock goes off. Brady holds up the trophy. Goodell is standing there. I'm painting the picture for you, Dan. Jump in anytime.
Yeah, well, that's the one. That's the one around here. That they're sort of. You guys are almost incidental to the mission of fans here. I mean, they are like we're going there. We're going to have the revenge tour and show Roger Goodell, and and all this sort of thing. He took the quarterback away for 4 games, and he embarrassed them, and he won in court and all that stuff. So they're just trying to show that he didn't hurt them. Well, he did hurt them. He took away $1 million. He took away the first-round draft pick, which hurts for a long, long time, and it hurt their reputation because some folks will always think they're cheaters. So the commissioner won that one, but the goal now is to make things awkward for him and have this moment where you can kind of stare in his face and say, "Yeah, screw you. Here's the deflated ball. This Lombardi Trophy feels pretty firm."
Last question, and we thank you for calling in, Dan. Does Tom Brady retire with a championship? Is this his John Elway moment?
I don't think so. I mean, again, you listen to him. He talks about playing until he's 45. He's goofy with this. I'm not sure what he's thinking, but he thinks he can keep going. He's just had a year at 39, which is, he's probably second only to Matt Ryan for regular season year that he had. So, he will not retire after this game. That'd be a big story if he does, and I'll call you back and say I was wrong. But I don't see it. I think he really wants to play another 4 or 5 years, which Father Time is undefeated. We'll see if he can pull this off.
All right, Dan. Thank you for calling in. Dan Shaughnessy, the Boston Globe. The article is it's hard to get pumped up about Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons. I completely understand where Dan is coming from. Most of it is that this city is transient. That half the city is one of those places where you can sit at a bar and get 10 different cities. And I'm talking about like I've been living here for 12, 15 years, right. 10 different cities. Where when you go most places, the cities I played, if I was in St. Louis, 7 out of 10 people were from Missouri. Right. If I was in Pennsylvania with the Steelers, 9 out of 10 people were from the Pennsylvania or Ohio area. That's just not this city, which kind of weakens the fan base. But we'll talk more about it when we come back from break. More of the Sports Talk Show.